1.4 trillion in just 6 days. This is what a lot of people tend to ignore, what they're missing, and it's the exact thing that can lead Shiba Inu to some new highs. We need to talk about that, as well as a few things, both bullish and bearish, playing out in the charts. I do want to show you guys kind of both sides of this right now, as well as something else that has just continued to hit new highs. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. When I'm looking at Shiba Inu this morning, it's not very volatile. It's a pretty quiet day overall. Yesterday was the same thing, down about 2.3%. We're just kind of bouncing right above our 50-day moving average. And this is, if this sounds familiar, it's because most assets are doing this right now. They're testing local supports. We're seeing if we're going to hold. Right now, it's about 7:10 a.m. We're before the GDP report. We're before the PC report. So we'll see what kind of impact that has on price. But what has been very present, and I'll get back to the charts here in just a moment, but what has been very present throughout most of this year is accumulation by large entities. And I have to point to the fact that just over these last 6 days alone, so this is actually from April 24th to yesterday, we have actually seen them accumulate 1.4 trillion Shiba Inu. This year alone has been one of the most consistent periods of whale accumulation we have seen in history. This year alone, tens of trillions of Shiba Inu have actually been added by whales. So they have a net positive position for this year because they've been buying and buying and buying and building their positions. And this isn't really surprising because prices, yes, have been discounted. They have been cheap. And so what they're doing is they're stocking up for the next major leg across the space. And we have to ask ourselves, who gets stuck chasing that? Retail. Retail is always the last one to the game. They're always the last ones to get in. They're also the last ones to adopt as well. And what I find very interesting about this is, a lot of people are continuing to sleep on the fact that we have not seen major adoption yet in this cycle. That is when Shiba Inu performs its best. That is when Shiba Inu does some of these major rip-roaring runs like we've seen in the past. Take a look at 2021. Take a look at even February into March of 2024, where we did have a little surge of adoption. But that's what will take us to new highs, and we just have to be patient, right? Now, that being said, what we've also seen during this time is setting new all-time highs in terms of holders. 1.51 million Shiba Inu holders. That's a new record. We continue to surge even when times where the charts are down. SHIB just continues to take leg after leg after leg on a fundamental standpoint. Now, when we're looking at Shiba Inu on this shorter term trend, I do have to point out something that is definitely worth noting. Right now, it looks like Shiba Inu could actually be building a little bit of a head and shoulders. For those that aren't familiar, this is a bearish formation, and that could be indicating that we could have a little bit of a downside push. Now, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. We have seen, several times before where SHIB has had the opposite be present, right? Our little inverse head and shoulders here that actually caused Shiba Inu to move to the upside here. Now, what I will say is that Shiba Inu may in fact be playing out into a bigger inverse head and shoulders, right? We have our left shoulder here, our head, our potential right shoulder if SHIB does come down and touch these levels, all right? So that is a potential thing that may play out in the charts, right? I'm saying potential because obviously nothing has to be perfect. Nothing has to play out for certain. We're still sitting above these moving averages here, which is a great sign. It's local support for SHIB. Right now on a stochastic RSI, it looks like on the daily, it's starting to flip around after exiting the overbought territory, which is a great sign. On the 12-hour, we're actually in oversold. On the weekly, we're actually still aggressively attacking the overbought range. We're not there yet, but this is where SHIB actually has a lot of room to work still, where it can make legs to the upside. So we have things that are on both sides here. That's where this gets kind of tricky, right? Now, I will say that at least as of right now, SHIB is in its 4th straight week of green. Might be something that people are sleeping on as well. It's one of the few assets around the space that actually have this green, green, green just continuing to take place. So it may not be super big. It may not be super exciting quite yet, but we're very quickly approaching these times where the market has an opportunity to break out in a big way. We're still seeing big accumulation take place. Just for example, on the Ethereum side of spot ETFs, 18.4 million added yesterday. Kind of a quiet day overall. It was just really Fidelity that added 25.52 million. Grayscale unloaded some. BlackRock, quiet day. On the Bitcoin side, still big accumulation taking place. I mean, everything's really starting to point the right direction. And understand, like we talked about yesterday in our bigger Wyckoff reaccumulation model, there is a test. There is a pullback. Actually, just to kind of show you guys, I'll just zoom way out and bring that back up just so everyone is aware. So we're all on the same page here, right? There is our spring and our test, our pullback, right? Spring, and we may have a little bit of a pullback here. And if we do, great. That's an opportunity. We're playing into this perfectly. The market is kind of prepping itself for a big run overall. And we, again, just have to sit and be patient and wait and watch and just be bored out of our minds until the market starts to get lively. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll probably talk later after the GDP report comes out and we get a better idea of where things are headed on the short term in terms of price. But have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.